Hello everyone, I am Mr. Ashish Chaudhary, Assistant Professor of BPM Sumarji Parishad of College of Engineering, Bhubaneswar. So today we are going to start a lecture series on a subject of refrigeration and air conditioning. In that, we are starting with the first chapter as lecture 1, air cooling system. Okay. So first, we will see the concept of refrigeration. So what is meant by refrigeration? So it is the process of removing the heat and maintaining the temperature of the body below the atmospheric temperature. Okay. So that means from this substance we are removing the heat and maintaining temperature below the corresponding atmospheric temperature. It is this process is called as a refrigeration process. Okay. And the device which is used for this refrigeration purpose is called as a refrigerator. So in the refrigerator, one of the working substance is used. So the substance works in the heat pump to extract the heat from the cold body and deliver it to the hot body called the refrigerator. That means the one of the substance that will be moved in a cycle into the refrigerator, and in that some part it will be absorb the heat from the cold body and deliver the heat to the hot body. That substance is called as a refrigerant. Okay. Now next one. So first we will see how to measure the refrigeration concept. So for that we will need a unit, and the unit is called unit of refrigeration, and this unit of refrigeration is measured as a turn of refrigeration. The practical unit of refrigeration is expressed in terms of turn of refrigeration. So what is the meaning of turn of refrigeration? It is defined as the amount of refrigeration effect produced by the uniform melting of 1 ton, that means 1000 kg of ice from and at 0 degrees Celsius in 24 hours. So what we have given? We have given the 1 ton of ice, that means 1000 kg of ice. At 0 degrees Celsius, it will be melt during a 24 hours. Whatever amount of energy required, that energy is called as 1 ton of refrigeration. Okay. So what we have? So we have given here the ice. The warm air will pass over that ice, and obviously after taking the heat by the ice from the warm air, the air becomes cool, and the energy absorbed by the ice that is used to melting of the ice. Okay. So whatever amount is absorbed, that is at 0 degree Celsius, and the time required is 24 hours for 1 ton of ice. The whatever amount is absorbed, that amount of energy is called as 1 ton of refrigeration. Okay. So I will see find out now we'll see how to find out the value of 1 ton of refrigeration. Since the latent heat of ice is 335 kilojoule per kg, therefore 1 ton of refrigeration, we called it is 1 ton of refrigeration is equal to 1000 kg multiplied 335 in 24 hours. So 1000 multiplied 335 divided by 24 into 60. Okay. So we'll get the value as 232.6 kilojoule per minute. But in actual practice, the 1 ton of refrigeration is taken as equivalent to 210 kilojoule per minute or 3.5 kilowatt, or you can see it is 3.5 kilojoule per second. So this is about the unit of refrigeration. So unit of refrigeration is a 1 ton of refrigeration. So obviously the refrigeration process is always measured in ton of refrigeration. Okay. Now we'll see here the first performance of the refrigeration will be measured by using a coefficient of performance. Just like heat engine, performance of heat engine will be measured in terms of efficiency. The performance of refrigeration or the refrigerator will be measured in terms of coefficient of performance. So what is coefficient of performance? Coefficient of performance, be briefly written as the COP, is the ratio of heat extracted in the refrigerator to the work done on the refrigerant. So that means how much amount of energy extracted by the refrigerant during the process, and how much amount of energy supplied or the work done on the refrigerant. That ratio is called as the coefficient of performance. It is also known as a theoretical coefficient of performance. That is, mathematically we can write out theoretical COP is equal to Q divided by W. So what is Q? Q is here amount of heat extracted in the refrigerator, or the amount of refrigeration produced, or the capacity of the refrigerator, and W is called as amount of work done. So for per unit mass, COP is equal to Q divided by small q divided by small w. The coefficient of performance is reciprocal of the efficiency of the heat engine. So for corresponding, just we say at a particular temperature, if heat between that temperature heat engine is going to work, and if you say at the same temperature the refrigerator is going to work, so in that concept efficiency of heat engine is reciprocal of the coefficient of performance of the refrigerator. So it is thus obvious that the value of COP is always greater than unity, and efficiency values of the heat engine is always less than unity. So ratio of actual COP to the theoretical COP is known as relative coefficient of performance. So here relative COP is equal to ratio of actual COP divided by theoretical COP. So now here we have the three concepts. So the concepts are the heat engine, refrigerator and heat pump. So in that, in the thermodynamics we have seen the heat engine. So what is heat engine? Heat engine is that the engine which is operating in cycle, which is extracted from the energy or the heat from the source and delivered to the some amount of part will be delivered to the sink after producing the WE amount of work done. But what is a refrigerator? A refrigerator is the reverse process of engine. So in the refrigerator we are supplying the work done. So that's why the refrigerator will be absorb the heat from the heat sink, that is at the cold body, and addition of heat absorbed and the work done will be delivered to the heat source. So similarly heat pump is that the concept of heat pump and refrigerator is similar, but what is the difference? Difference is considered that what is the required effect in the refrigerator is cooling the body is the required effect of the refrigerator. But in heat pump, the required effect is delivering heat to the body. So this is the basic concept or the basic difference between the refrigerator and heat pump. But actually, the refrigerator and heat pump are working in same principle and by using the same cycle. So in heat pump also, WP amount of work will be delivered to the pump, and Q1 amount of heat from the cold body will be absorbed by the pump, and that will be delivered. Addition of this WP and Q1 is delivered to the hot body. So this is the difference. So what about here? If you consider here we have the heat engine is always working between the temperature T1 and T2. Here T1 is a sink temperature and T2 is a source temperature. Here T1 is always greater than atmospheric temperature, corresponding atmospheric temperature. Now about the refrigerator. So what will happen in refrigerator? So similarly T1 temperature is the sink temperature and T2 is the hot body, that means source temperature. But here the difference between this heat engine and refrigerator is that T1 is always less than TE. That means sink temperature is less than the atmospheric temperature. Okay. And what about here? So here T1 is for the heat pump, T1 is always greater than the atmospheric temperature, or the T1 is similar to the atmospheric temperature. Okay. So this is about the difference between the heat engine, refrigerator and heat pump. Now we'll see the efficiency, difference between heat engine, refrigerator and heat pump. So by using this performance of heat engine is always expressed in terms of efficiency. So we know that efficiency is work done to the ratio of work done to the heat supplied. So here heat engine, work done is WE amount and heat supplied is Q2. So Q2 amount of heat will be extracted from the heat source. So that's why the efficiency of heat engine is equal to, or COP of the heat engine is equal to work done divided by heat supply. So this is equal to WE divided by Q2. But WE, what is the value of WE? WE is Q2 minus Q1 is equal to WE. So that's why here the efficiency of heat engine is equal to Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q2. Now about the refrigerator. So it is the reverse heat engine which is either cool or maintain the temperature of a body T1 lower than the atmospheric temperature TE. This is done by extracting heat Q1 from the cold body and delivering it to the hot body Q2. In doing so, work WR is required to be done on the system according to the first law of thermodynamics. So WR is equal to, so WR, so if you see here, so what will happen? Q2 is Q1 plus WR. So this is amount of heat absorbed from the cold body, and in addition with that the WR amount of work done on the refrigerator. So addition of those two will be supplied to the heat source. So that's why here work done on the refrigerator is equal to Q2 minus Q1. So from the definition of the COP is taken as the cooling effect divided by work done. So COP of refrigerator will be always measured as the ratio of the cooling effect to the work done. So Q1 divided by WR is equal to Q1 divided by Q2 minus Q1. So this is the COP of refrigerator. Now we'll see the heat pump performance. So in that WP similar to the refrigerator, in the heat pump, Q1 will be amount of heat will be extracted from the surrounding body, so which is at the temperature T1, and for that the WP amount of work done on the heat pump. So now the addition of Q1 and WP will be delivered to the hot body. That means this is equal to Q2 is equal to Q1 plus WP. So by using this one, so WP, the work done on the pump, is taken as Q2 minus Q1. But here the performance of heat pump is expressed by the ratio of amount of heat delivered to the hot body to the amount of work required to be done on the system W. This ratio is called as coefficient of performance or energy performance ratio of a heat pump. So mathematically we will see the COP of heat pump or energy performance ratio is equal to Q2 divided by WP. So this is equal to Q2 divided by Q2 minus Q1. Okay, if you solve this, Q1 divided by Q2 minus Q1 plus 1, we will see, if you solve this one, we will get COP of refrigerator plus 1. That means COP of heat pump is equal to COP of refrigerator working on same temperatures plus 1. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the refrigerator and the heat pump. So in the refrigerator, COP is the ratio of cooling effect divided by work done on the refrigerator, and in the heat pump the COP of heat pump is equal to heat delivered to the source divided by work supplied to the heat pump. So this is the basic difference between the refrigerator and the heat pump. Okay, now we'll see air refrigerator working on reverse Carnot cycle. So Carnot cycle is always used as a standard cycle for the heat engines, but this is working in clockwise direction. But if you reverse that cycle, we will consider as a reverse Carnot cycle. If you reverse the Carnot cycle, we will use the same cycle for the refrigeration purpose. So for that, what we have seen here the two diagrams, pressure versus volume diagram and temperature versus entropy diagram. So in that, what will happen? The first process, there are the four processes. The first one is 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. Entropy becomes constant. Then 2 to 3 is isothermal compression. So temperature becomes constant. During that, in that what will happen? Heat will be rejected. And third process is isentropic expansion. Entropy becomes constant 3 to 4. And last is isothermal expansion, or we can say this is a heat addition process. So that means, so compression, heat rejection, then expansion, and then again a heat absorption process. So this is about the reverse Carnot cycle used for a refrigeration purpose. Okay, so why we call it is reverse Carnot cycle? So Carnot cycle is used for AD engine in a clockwise direction manner. So that means in this direction, clockwise direction. But if you reverse that cycle in anti-clockwise direction, the same cycle is called as reverse Carnot cycle, and this is used for a refrigeration purpose. Okay, now you see we know that work done during the cycle per kg of air is equal to heat rejected minus heat absorbed. So this is the work done on the air during the cycle. So heat rejected. So how we find out the heat rejected? If you see here, heat rejected during the process 2 to 3. So S2 minus S1. Okay, so here heat rejected is T2 multiplied with S2 minus S3, and heat absorbed. So heat absorbed is here during the process 1 to 4. So heat absorbed is S1 minus S4 multiply with a temperature T1. Okay, so here, so Q2 to 3 minus Q4 to 1. So T2 S2 minus S3 minus T1 S2 minus S3. But S2 minus S3 and both the entropies are similar ones, so that's why we solve this one. T2 minus T1 multiplied S2 minus S3. So coefficient of performance of a refrigeration system working on a Carnot cycle, reverse Carnot cycle, is defined as COP of refrigerator working on a reverse Carnot cycle is equal to heat absorbed divided by work done is equal to Q4 to 1 divided by Q2 to 3 minus Q4 to 1. What is Q4 to 1? Q4 to 1 is the heat absorbed divided by work done. So work done if you have already find out here as heat rejected minus heat absorbed, and this will solve by using T2 minus T1 is equal to multiply with S2 minus S3. And what about Q4 to 1? Q4 to 1 is similar here, T1 multiply with S2 minus S3. After substituting we are getting T1 multiply with S2 minus S3 divided by T2 minus T1 S2 minus S3. After solving this one we will get the COP of refrigerator of a reverse Carnot cycle working on a reverse Carnot cycle is equal to T1 divided by T2 minus T1. So these temperature are available in Kelvin, or you can say it is absolute temperatures. Though the reverse Carnot cycle is the most efficient between the fixed temperature limits, yet no refrigerator has been made using this cycle. This is due to reason that the isentropic process of the cycle requires a high speed while the isothermal process requires an extremely low speed. This variation in speed of air is not a practical. That's why the refrigerator working on a reverse Carnot cycle is not a available condition. Okay, so COP of refrigerator working on a reverse Carnot cycle is T1 divided by T2 minus T1. That means heat absorbed divided by work done. Now we'll see the air refrigerator working on again reverse Carnot cycle. In that we already discussed that COP of a heat pump. In previous case, the COP of heat pump working in same temperature is equal to COP of refrigerator plus 1. So this is equal to T1 divided by T2 minus T1 plus 1. After solving this one, we will get T2 divided by T2 minus T1. Then the COP of heat engine, we are taking COP of heat engine is equal to 1 divided by COP of a heat pump. This is equal to T2 minus T1 divided by T2. Okay, this is 1. Now next one, the air refrigerator working on Bell-Coleman cycle or a reverse Breton cycle or a Joule cycle or reverse Joule cycle. Okay, in open cycle, if you see here are 4 parts, 4 devices are used during this cycle. First is refrigerator, then compressor, then cooler, and then expander. So that means 1 to 2 process is compression process, 2 to 3 process is heat rejection process, 3 to 4 is expansion process, and 4 to 1 is again refrigerator, that means heat addition process into the substance, working substance, that means refrigerant. So this is about the open cycle, and here the closed cycle. So in the closed cycle, here again same devices are used: compressor, cooler, expander, refrigerator. So in the compressor, 1 to 2 is compression process, 2 to 3 is heat rejection process to the cooling water, then 3 to 4 is expansion process, and 4 to 1 is the evaporator process, or you can say refrigeration or the cooling process. Okay, so in there, what is the difference between open cycle and closed cycle? Just refrigerant is direct in contact with the working refrigerant is in direct contact with the cooling area. But here the in closed cycle, refrigerant is not a direct contact with the cooling material. This will first in contact with the brine solution. It will cool the brine, and brine will be cooled to the cooling material. Okay, so this is about the Bell-Coleman cycle. So here, why we are using Bell-Coleman cycle? because there are some disadvantages of the reverse Carnot cycle. What is the disadvantage is that, so here if you see here, in the reverse Carnot cycle, two processes are isentropic processes and two are the isothermal processes. For isentropic processes, high velocity will be required, and for isothermal process, low speed will be required. But in actual condition, this is not possible. So to avoid these disadvantages, we will use the Bell-Coleman cycle. So what is the difference in the Bell-Coleman cycle? So here, if you see here, here are the two isentropic processes and two are isobaric processes. That means at the constant pressure process. So here, process 1 to 2 is same as a reverse Carnot cycle as a isentropic compression process. But 2 to 3 is a process of heat rejection is now available at a constant pressure process. That means in the reverse Carnot cycle, the process which is available at a constant thermal process now is taken as a constant pressure process. Okay, so in that heat will be rejected by the refrigerant. Now 3 to 4 same as reverse Carnot cycle as again isentropic expansion process. And again now 4 to 1 is a constant pressure process, that is heat absorption process by the refrigerant. And again CPC1 in reverse Carnot cycle, the isothermal process will be replaced by constant pressure process. Okay, so similarly on the temperature versus entropy diagram, so 1 to 2 is isentropic process, 2 to 3 is isobaric process, the constant pressure process, 3 to 4 as again isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 again as a constant pressure process, heat absorption. So if you solve this one, after solving to find out the performance of Bell-Coleman cycle, so COP of Bell-Coleman cycle or reverse Brayton cycle or reverse Joule cycle will be taken as Cp multiplied with T1 minus T4 divided by n minus 1 multiplied with Cv in bracket gamma minus 1 in bracket T2 minus T1 bracket complete minus T3 minus T4. Okay, after solving this one, so Cp and Cv, so we know that ratio of Cp and Cv is equal to gamma. After substituting this, gamma multiplied T1 minus T4 divided by n minus 1 multiplied with gamma minus 1 bracket in bracket T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. If you simplify this one or rearranging the terms, we will get the COP of Bell-Coleman cycle. So this is the equation, T1 minus T4 divided by n minus 1 multiplied with gamma minus 1 upon gamma in bracket T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. Okay, for the isentropic compression or expansion, n is equal to gamma. So therefore the equation this becomes will be written as COP is equal to T1 minus T4 divided by T2 minus T3 minus T1 minus T4. Okay, so thank you.